Hello everyone, Cowbunger here, and today I want to talk about the big news that we got from MultiVersus yesterday. The MultiVersus social media accounts put out a video where Tony, the game's director, talked about the future of MultiVersus. In the video, Tony said that the team is working hard on many new features for the game based on player feedback, and in order to implement it the right way, they have decided to close off open beta online access on June 25th, and they are pausing updates from now until then. This means that the open beta is going to go offline completely and will only be playable locally until the full game relaunches in early 2024. It's even going to be pulled from digital storefronts starting on April 4th. Any cosmetics and progression towards characters will be restored on full release. Tony said that the team is working on the following things for full release: new characters, stages and modes, improved netcode, a revamped progression system, and new ways to connect with friends in the game. I imagine they will also be making gameplay changes based on community feedback, but that's not really confirmed. During the time between the open beta shutting down and the game's full release, they will give us updates on what content is being added to the game. So how do I feel about this? I definitely think this is the right call to make. I think MultiVersus has many glaring problems that have been pointed out many times before, and if you played MultiVersus, I'm sure you have at least one gripe with the game. Besides the netcode, my least favorite thing about MultiVersus is the dodge system. On paper, it seems like all the systems in place make sense, until you realize that the dodge meter never really goes down to a point where you feel like you can't just spam dodges. Dodges can be used right out of most attacks in the game, and both of these things resulted in 1v1s feeling very dodge heavy. You have to abuse the dodge system, which resulted in them feeling over-centralized in 1v1s, and prevented me from wanting to play the mode. And I didn't want to play 2v2s because the netcode just couldn't support it most of the time, especially on days when new content was released. There are a lot of little problems like that all piled up in MultiVersus, and I think they did try to address gameplay issues as they were developing content, but I think it became too much for them. I think they saw the writing on the wall, which is that no matter how much new content they put out for the game, they did not have a game that kept people wanting to play more. Players kept leaving despite new content being added, so they probably had to make a very hard decision to focus on all the problems people have with the game in this disappointing way in order to hopefully come out of it with a much stronger game come full launch. I've seen a lot of people say how this should have been communicated much sooner, especially since there are no signs showing that this open beta was temporary. But I have a feeling this was not something that they were planning on doing until more recently. I'm sure if there was some solution that would have made it so that they could prevent the game from being unplayable or made it unplayable for less time, then they would have chosen it. I bet the reason why there's complete silence from the devs and a drought in content for MultiVersus for a couple months was because they were exploring all of their options before making this decision. Then after making this decision, they were probably making a new roadmap and preparing for how they're going to make this announcement. I think no matter what people think about the team's silence, I think it makes perfect sense why they are doing what they are doing and why they handled it the way they did. It does suck that some people spent money on the game and some people spent countless hours playing just so the game would be temporarily shut down for a little bit, but the devs were in a tough spot, it seems. This is a gamble that they will have to work hard on in order for it to pay off. I think the decision is made out of appreciation and love for their fanbase, and I wish them the best of luck. I think a lot of people need to remember that video game devs are people that are trying to make a living, and sometimes plans don't go the way you'd like, and reaching a compromise that will reward a dev's hard work is what needs to be done. If a game's future is in question, you should do the safe thing that favors the dev's time, efforts, and desires while still keeping your players in mind, and I think this decision does all of that. There have been many live service games recently that have had to shut down due to a lack of financial support, and I'm sure all of us can agree that we want MultiVersus to thrive for as long as possible because what the game brings is unique and cool, the devs are cool, and we all want the best for the game and the people who work on it for the sake of the platform fighting game genre that we all love. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.